It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. Your best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias. What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Best of Bias Podcast, starring yours truly, Lydell Dinero. Let me fix my shirt real quick. Let me find out weird in the camera chat stuff, I guess. What's up, Best of Bias family? I am back. Sorry, I missed a week with y'all. My shirt is still fucked up. I don't know. Sorry if I look a little messy, but I'm wearing my Tampa Bay NFC Championship shirt, you know what I'm saying, to match the aesthetic and shit, you know. I like to be clean on up high for y'all. I ain't trying to be down. But anyways, let me get back to business. And we back to business. Best of Bias Podcast, episode 246, I believe. Coming live. I know we missed last week and I wasn't there for you, but I was doing a little traveling, man. As you guys know, I told you last pod that I'll be traveling to Houston. Shout out Dijon and Deshaun. I'll tell you guys a little bit about Dreamcon a little later, but we traveled to Houston for Dreamcon. So I wasn't able to get in the pod space for y'all. Left kind of earlier in the week. So we got a lot to experience, a lot to talk about, had some fun times out there, but we back, episode 246, moving along in season 3, getting close to season 4. I'm telling you, season 4 is going to come through. It's going to come through with a bang. I know we've been having a lot of content lately, a lot of updated content as far as the video goes, and I'm very, very proud of that. I'm happy that we got that started and successful for y'all. Something better to look at. Check out what we got going on in here. So I'm happy about that for sure. But a lot to discuss. The NBA, to talk a little bit about that. Some pop culture stuff. Marvel is just, again, doing me wrong. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Dreamcon. Nothing too big right now. As football gets closer, we'll talk a little bit about that. But just a couple of topics here for y'all. Hope y'all doing cool on this weekend. We were able to get this pod in a little bit earlier this week. So I hope you guys are listening to this on the weekend or at the end of the week, whenever you guys listening to it and enjoying your time. The end of the week, like I say, can always get real stressful. It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. It is Pride Month, so shout out to the LGBTQ plus community. Shout out to all the men out there that may be going through something, may need somebody to talk to, may need help, but are afraid to ask for that help. You know what I'm saying? Reach out to somebody, and I'm glad I can be there for you as well. During this month, I'll try to be here every week, just to support, to help ease that stress you may have on your mind. Though we may not talk about the most serious stuff in the world, I like to be that go-to pod where you can kind of let your hair down and relax, you know what I mean? And kind of have a stress-free vibe. So that's what I promote if you're new here. Best of Bias Podcast. We talk about a little bit about everything. We don't get that much into the politics into it. All politics kind of affect us. But I don't like to get too much in the minutia of that. We talk a lot about the pop culture sphere, pretty much everything else, a little bit about everything. So if it's your bias, you have a bias on some kind of topic or opinion, we'll probably get to it, probably talk about it here. Everybody's bias is welcome. We're going to bring it to the table. We're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Superheroes, movies, comics, TV, film, music, sports, definitely sports. Fantasy sports, betting, we're all over the map with it. So again, thank you guys for being here. Episode 246, Lydell Dinero in the building. If you don't know who I am, let me introduce myself. I am the host of the Best of Bias Podcast. Small team, me, aka, and the family, and you guys, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing it since 2019. Bigger, better, every step of the way. It's been a lovely ride, and let me not get into all that. Let's get into how y'all doing today, bro? How y'all doing today? Hopefully everything is good. Again, I've talked about the mental health and this Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, but for everybody, man, I'm not going to limit it to just men here. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. I like to talk about that at the beginning of the pod. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Hopefully work is not stressing you out too bad. Hopefully your job searches, if you're looking for a job, are going well. Whatever you got going, man, hopefully it's going well and hopefully it's going successfully. If it's not, man, you fall down twice to get up once, and that once could be a really big once to get up, and you can pop. So never give up. I like to preach that as well, man. I'm on my own personal journeys, you know what I'm saying? So I love to preach never giving up and always staying there with it mentally. Never give up on yourself. Just know there's somebody there I'm here, man. If you want somebody to talk to, need to vent, hit me up. Instagram, YouTube, you know where to find me. I'm everywhere in these socials, you know what I'm saying? Pushing that positivity, pushing that mindful vibe. You know what I'm saying? So before we get into all the shit, I like to, touch base with y'all, make sure I'm doing okay. So it sounds like everybody is. If not, let's breathe in together. Just breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's get to the bullshit. NBA Finals is here. While I was in Houston, I think the Eastern and Western Conference Finals kind of Western Conference Finals. It wasn't really anything. Who knew the Denver Nuggets would be the second best team in the West? You know what I mean? OKC just kind of ran through everybody. I kind of thought Minnesota would put up a bigger fight. They didn't. They're second guessing Anthony Edwards being the face of the league now after getting tossed around by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and company. I know they're hesitant. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me because they're heaping all this praise on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander during the season, during the playoffs. One of the players who can win MVP and Finals MVP in the same year. One of the few people that could do that, but yet they're not talking about him being the face of the league because he's Canadian. They're purposely trying to push the face of the league to American player, which I mean it should, I guess, since it's an American sport. Other country players come here to play, and the NBA is not going to be quick to give the face of the league's title to somebody that's a foreign-born player. You have players like Jokic, players like Luka, players like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, being from different countries, Canada, Slovenia, and you have Serbia. So they're looking for that American player. Jason Tatum won the championship last year. They thought this year would be the year for him to take that step to be that next, big player. But him tearing his Achilles is going to set him back a year and a half. So they're looking for that face in Carl Anthony Towns. Anthony Edwards not being able to take the next step and get to the finals after back-to-back Western Conference Finals appearances. He is 23, so he has a lot of time to get there. But they're ready to anoint him. The face of the league already. And they're ready, they're going to have to find somebody else to do it. I don't know who it's going to be. Is it going to be Halliburton? He's an American player, but I don't know if they're ready. They're not even ready to call him a superstar after everything he's doing in the Eastern Conference. But Timberwolves, a lot of the players didn't show up. Julius Randle had a good game one. He showed up in the last round against, the Lakers and the Warriors. But when it came down to OKC and their defensive, how they swarm people defensively, I will give them their credit. They do swarm defensively. Again, the referees do let them get away with a little bit more, being that they're a smaller team. They don't have really that many big superstars. They have a lot of guards like J-Dub and SGA. I'm gonna start saying SGA because Shai Gilgeous is just getting way too long, and I don't really fuck with him like that to be able to say his name. Like, I'm gonna call you SGA. I'm gonna shorten it for you. I'm a hater. I know. I'm sorry. I'll be hating on everybody who beats Jokic for MVP, but that's just the fan in me. What can I say? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, the Western Conference, they had OKC waiting a little bit for the Eastern Conference Finals to finish. Both teams, anyways. The Knicks or the OKC and Pacers were up 3-1 anyways. The Knicks had I guess more of a chance to come back because I think they ended up winning 2 games. They lost in game 6 in Indiana. But I don't know, man. I think they were kind of outmatched after the Pacers were able to beat, who they beat last round and get to where they are now to play the Knicks. And I thought they were going to beat the Knicks the whole time. But as far as the Knicks, man, they overachieved when they beat the Celtics. And them firing Tibbs is kind of crazy. I just kind of feel like I think some of the trades they made were kind of stupid. Try to put all the Villanova boys together. I think it was just going to work off top. I don't think it necessarily worked. They should have kept DiVincenzo, kept a little more shooting out there. Mikal Bridges was good when he was in Brooklyn, but it seems like after that he was nowhere near the same player dropping 30 points regularly, which I thought they were going to get when bringing him there. Brunson, personally, he can score a lot, but otherwise playmaking and stuff like that, he wasn't really doing that well. He has to kind of find ways to be a little more dynamic for the team as a playmaker. Karl Anthony Towns, first time in New York, I mean, he kind of fit in really well, started doing things that he was doing in Minnesota and on a bigger stage. But his defensive prowess isn't really there. That's something he does need to work on. He does pride himself on being the best shooting big man in the league. But that defense, man, he was getting dunked on. I've heard Mitchell Robinson's name way too much in the playoffs for him to be as dominant. If Jokic was playing against Mitchell Robinson, I promise you would not have heard of Mitchell Robinson in that series. But Karl Anthony Towns is allowing Mitchell Robinson to be named in the same name as him. Mitchell Robinson and who else do they have at center over there? Oh, it's, Karl Anthony Towns is a power forward, but I think it's just Mitchell Robinson and Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know. They'll figure it out, but they did fire their coach. I think Michael Malone might go over there, Denver Nuggets head coach, who did get fired. I think he might. He's a New Yorker. I think he will get hired by the New York Knicks and put together a team that in a game plan that'll be easy for him in the East. Man, he's been doing it for a long time in the West and holding it down with the Nuggets, and got the most out of Jokic. I think he may be able to, bring something out of Karl Anthony Towns defensively. He has a thing with bigs. He did it with DeMarcus Cousins. So, maybe they'll put something together there, but Tibbs getting fired is hella surprising. I don't know. He grinds the players into the ground mostly. And the players don't like that too much. So, maybe they behind the scenes wanted him gone and they want Mike Malone in there to get a little change of the vibes and they don't play fucking 40 minutes a piece a game, in order for the team to be successful. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But, again, the Pacers were able to beat them. Again, nobody talks really about the Pacers team. Again, they voted Halliburton like one of the most overrated players in the league. This is a player vote. So the revenge tour for Halliburton has been good, man. He's a good player, man. He was on the USA team, so, I think the year before last, he was balling out for him to get even put on the USA team. But the year after that, though, I think it was last year, he didn't really, he did I think he got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. I think they did, and they lost to the Celtics. But I just think he started off really slow, so everybody kind of forgot what he did the year before and the reason why he was on the USA team. And seeing from his father, he probably does talk hella shit on the court, so people kind of probably was talking shit back and kind of voted him that to kind of slight him, but he's showing that he is what he is, man. New York series early when the Knicks were up 20 and they came all the way back scoring like 20 minutes and scoring 20 points in like 9 minutes or some crazy shit like that. Doing the choke sign, doing the Reggie Miller thing, the choke sign and shit like that. I don't know, man. He's showing that he deserves to be there. And Shai Gilgeous on the other side, he's kind of showing that he deserved to be MVP. People said that Jokic stole it from him one of these prior years when Jokic won his three MVPs. But anyways, they're saying Jokic still won SGA, so this one, if he didn't get this year, he would got robbed 2 times. But Jokic had one of the most memorable seasons that anybody ever had in the NBA. But Shai Gilgeous, voter fatigue, I get it. You gave Jokic the MVP when years that some people had incredible seasons, and then you still gave it to Jokic. So I think this was your get back year, even though Jokic had a phenomenal season. You're going to give it to somebody else from voter fatigue. But still, at the same time, you're also tainting the guy that wins the MVP that year because everybody's going to say the other person deserves it because of the stats. But hey, SGA won it. I'm not going to, after this, this season, I'm not even going to be worried about it no more. I don't fault Embiid either, even though, where's Embiid? What has he done since he won that MVP? Stole that MVP. I'm just playing. I could go there. But yeah, we have OKC versus the Pacers. This Pacers team filled with a bunch of players you may not know, but they're getting it done. Aaron Naismith, Mathurin, Nembhard, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, Halliburton, all these ragtag teams of players are going up against this juggernaut. That is OKC with Shai, J-Dub, but they have another team that's full of utility players that are kind of not really that known. The other Jay Wills, Lou Dort, Isaiah Joe, not Andrew Wiggins, some other Wiggins they got on the team. I don't know what his name is. I forgot his name. First name anyways. Kason Wallace, all these utility players. It's going to be a new look finals. People aren't used to. It's not filled with superstars. So it's going to be interesting to see what the ratings look like. But this is what, not David Stern. What's this? Adam Silver wanted. This is what, they tried to do when they implemented these first, second, and third apron luxury taxes, so the super teams can be dismantled. It could be all about these utility guys and teams and team building. and a cohesive team that can do everything and not just star stacked, that are able to win championships and kind of make it a little bit more diverse and adds a little more parity to the league in a sense, because you would never think you would see OKC versus the Pacers in the championship. You would think it would be either like a Lakers or Celtics, Nuggets or something versus a Celtics or the Cavaliers or a big name team like that. But with these aprons not allowing teams to stack up and pay superstars a whole bunch of money without penalty, you know what I'm saying? It's making GMs and presidents of operations be a little smarter on how they build teams, get a bunch of younger guys, bunch of utility guys that can do a little bit of everything, go 12 deep instead of 6 deep. Um, and it's paying off for the smaller market teams and the teams that are able to, spread out their resources rather than clump them all into the three big superstars, big threes or big twos that they expect us to, put the team on their back and just ride the championships. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. Series starts Thursday. Whenever you're listening to this, you may have already seen it. You already seen game one. But we'll see who's winning, man. I'm going for the Pacers just because I'm a hater and OKC beat us. So I'm hoping the Pacers come through and do it for the West. Pacers will be their first time winning a championship. I think OKC as well. So either way, it's going to be a first ring for either one of these teams. So I think that's really cool. But man, it's our time, man. We took them a game 7. We took them a game 7 with chances to go up 3-1 and win and go, oh my God, go up 3-2 back-to-back games, but we blew it because we didn't have enough depth. And I think we do need to follow this new model of getting utility players and not just banking on Jokic to win us the game and Jamal Murray to not be injured, or just, saying little things like that. Have a bunch of players who can do things. You know what I mean? But anyways, it's not about us. It's about the Pacers and the OKC. So congratulations, guys, on making it to the finals. I guess, again, game 1 is in OKC on Thursday. So check it out if you must. I'll be tuning in from time to time, and I'll be sure to report to you guys who do still care, even though it's not too big market teams. Is that cool? Yeah. Moving on, just a little bit of pop culture for y'all. Actually, it's mostly pop culture. I still have any cinema corner, but pop culture wise, I just want to talk to you real quick, Marvel. I'm gonna talk to you real quick, Marvel. Should I do I'm gonna bring it back. Dual cameras. Marvel, do we have a problem, bro? Marvel, do we have a problem? I need to know now. Do you just watch this pod and like whatever Patrick says he's interested in, whatever Lydell says he's interested in, we just gonna do the opposite thing? Is that what we're doing right now? Because I sweat, blood, tears, time equity into waiting for these Comic-Con tickets. I only get Thursday and Sunday. I hear about all the things you're talking about doing for Doomsday. Last year, you announced Robert Downey Jr. We got all these announcements of characters and things you're going to reveal for the next phases. And I'm like, yes. Right when I get to Hall H over there at Comic-Con San Diego SDCC this year, 2025, I'm going to be there camping out, waiting for my spot in that hall, just to hear they canceled their appearance at Comic-Con. You cancel appearance? You already canceled Blade. You cancel Moon Knight season 2. You delay Doomsday. You mentioned Midnight Suns being after Doomsday, so that's delayed. I'm just getting really, really upset with y'all because I get really excited about these announcements in the time, but it seems like every time I get an announcement, you're like, nah, Lydell, I don't like you that much. So let's take back what we said. Let's slap you in the face. Let's throw you into the river. Let's take you out of the river and throw you in some gravel, kick you a couple times and tell you stupid. I don't respect none of that. But, before I totally drag y'all, I'm about to see Fantastic Four. I'm gonna see what that's about, and I'm gonna report on it. I ain't 100% mad. But if y'all do want to pop up and surprise and be like, we was faking y'all on some April Fool's shit, holla at me, y'all. But sorry about that. I had to express my anger on dual camera because I haven't done that in a while. AKA, you can probably clip this up too, but Marvel, please stop doing this to me. Let's get Blade. I really hope you bring Moon Knight back for Midnight Suns. I heard that Ryan Gosling was confirmed and really, I think, appearing as Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, in Doomsday. So for you to win my heart back, I know you don't care because I think Disney, it's not Marvel itself, but Disney just banked like 2.5 billion, almost $3 billion already in the 2025 box office this year. I know they ain't tripping. I never care about Lil Best of Bias Podcast, Lil Lydell. They don't care. They don't care. But if you want to get back on my good side, Marvel, please pop up at Comic-Con SDCC 2025. I know you don't care about us little people, but canceling, I don't think is a great idea, bruh. You have two properties you're dropping Fantastic Four that weekend. How perfect is it? You guys can have a showing at Comic-Con. I know you delayed Doomsday till 2028. I know, or 2027. I don't know. You're competing against Doom. I don't know if you're trying to do a Barbenheimer type of deal, but we need you, bro. You need to feed us. I know you want to pull back because some of your expectations haven't been reached, but putting your foot on my throat, Blade, Moon Knight season 2, canceling Hall H at SDCC. It's like you're avoiding me. Do we have a problem? Like, can we be friends? Like, you're dropping all this Agnes. Like, you Agnes for real though? Ironheart, I do support. Ryan Coogler produced it, so I'm on that way. Shout out Dreamcon, she was there too. I I just don't understand why me you're choosing to piss off for some reason. But anyways, I do a camera again. Y'all see that? But yeah, what else? I did write some other stuff about Marvel. Oh no, yeah, the delays. Messiah Dune, though, to all my Dune fans, we are gonna have a situation. And I know, and that's in October, because I know that new Avatar is supposed to come out, and they're doing December, so that run is gonna be crazy. But yeah, Marvel, holla at me, guys, because Mahershala Ali is about to be what 50 years old. They're already talking about going to the X-Men saga. X-Men saga doesn't. I don't hear Blade in that at all. We saw Werewolf by Night. We saw Man Thing. Again, if you guys want to make it perfect for me, just do it all in Midnight Suns and don't lag after Doomsday. I know you can Secret Wars. I know it's going to be like, well, maybe between Doomsday and Secret Wars, that'll be a perfect time just because you guys have a lot of time to do Secret Wars after that in the whole Avengers saga. And then you can have Midnight Suns building up in the middle and have everything branch off of that. If you're planning to do that, kudos to you. But for now, we got beef. You canceled Hall H. I don't fuck with that. Sorry. Excuse my language, YouTube. I know cussing in the first 30 seconds. I didn't cuss in the first 30 seconds. So don't hate on me for that. But yeah, that's it for my pop culture spiel. But let's talk about the real shit, man. We're just getting back from one of the best cons that I've been to. I've been to a lot. You guys know that. I've been to Comic-Con LA twice, maybe 3 times. Yeah, I went to LA Comic Con 3 times. I went to Collecticon. I've been to TwitchCon. I've been to, um, well, and now DreamCon. All these cons fairly familiar, fairly similar. All kind of at convention centers. But DreamCon is different, man. Firstly, it's a majority black people, put on by RDC World One, streamers that I watch on Twitch, shout out Twitch, who have a fond place in my heart just for the content that they make. Being a content creator, being a potter that I am today, um, their content let me know that there was a space for doing the content that I do. Their content let me know that there was a niche for us, there's a spot for us. Liking anime, liking sports, liking music, liking superhero comics, cartoons, and all that shit, it can all coexist. Back in the day, usually you have to fit in one pocket of a person or one pocket of a fan to fit in. But these cons and these Comic Cons and DreamCon in general just melds it all together. I always go to Comic Cons in collecticons and all kinds of places and kind of wish that other people like me, other black people, other people of color. Like, there's a lot of white people, a lot of Hispanics at these Comic Cons, but not a lot of other people. You know what I'm saying? Not a lot of black people. Black people are interested in comics and stuff like that, of course, but the way that Dreamcon was and the influence that it has on people merging the streaming and the Comic Con worlds, I think it makes it it's an incredible chance, for people to get to know what the con life is about and stop thinking about it as, oh, it's a bunch of nerds that don't wear deodorant and are just walking around talking about comics, playing Dungeons and Dragons and shit like that. It's not what it is. You know what I'm saying? If you're at DreamCon, you can attest to what it really is. And if you go to any Comic Con, it's exactly the same, though it may not have had the cultural vibe that DreamCon has, because again, it's majority black people, which gave it a very homey, comfortable vibe. You know what I'm saying? Comic-Con is not really going to have a Meg Thee Stallion booth in the middle, slapping music and a bunch of streamers. Well, now they will have streamers at definitely TwitchCon, but Comic-Con's less so. But this one, it was promoted to have a bunch of other streamers there. So it was really, it was motivational for a lot of people. It was really good for networking opportunities. You got a first-hand look at what could come from becoming a streamer, or things that you could see if you work hard enough at anything you do. Let you know that anything is possible. Seeing these guys grow from creating internet skits to going to YouTube, going the Instagram route, being popular, to this being the 5th year of a convention they put on for thousands of people. 22,000 people were at this event. Shout out Houston for being really hospitable. Really good city. Never been to Texas before, so this is my first time there. It was great, despite the heat and humidity that was going on there. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. I was sweat. You know how I sweat. You know what I'm saying? I be sweating on the pod all the time. So, to see me out there and sweating and still being able to enjoy myself, still being able to enjoy the other people's enjoyment around me. Again, like I said, I'm at Comic-Con and stuff like that all the time and see people that are enjoying being at Comic-Con, but it's like seeing the people that were there, that have never been to a Comic-Con, the app that RDC put together that had people interacting, saying it's their first con. People that have been to RDC's DreamCon before, still, they don't know exactly what Comic-Con is like. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not exactly the same. So people coming from the Comic-Con world wanting to go to RDC's DreamCon, knowing that it's games, you have gaming tournaments. Of course, these streamers that we watch, RDC, they started with skits, but then they got into the gaming world. They all game together on PC and on X or on PlayStation and stuff like that. They brought the games that they play out to the DreamCon, had people enter to have a tournament. They got to watch the streamers play against their friends in a tournament like we do on Twitch, but in real life. It was cool, man. If you guys see my Instagram, I'm putting together a reel now, just kind of some back content on what we did out there. I wish I was able to make more connections, but it was really packed, really shoulder to shoulder. It was interesting to me though, because I wanted to stream more and live stream from where I was at, but again, everybody there, it wasn't TwitchCon, so everybody there wasn't really interested in having cameras in their face 24/7. And everywhere you're walking, you're trying to film yourself, you're going to have somebody in the camera behind you, in the camera somewhere, feeling uncomfortable about actually being on the camera. You know what I mean? So I kind of felt like it wasn't necessarily the spot. And that was like one of the complaints that a lot of people did have about the con. People came to DreamCon thinking it was just about streaming, when people really came there. And if you're there for the Comic-Con experience, DreamCon experience, you're there for the con, for the exhibits, for the artists, for the panel rooms and stuff like that. It wasn't about walking around with big groups of people with cameras and putting it in people's faces and playing game shows and seeing who can be the silliest. It kind of did get out of hand in that aspect, but it was all love in general. Again, these people they're a lot younger than me. A lot of people that were younger than me. It was all ages. A lot of aspiring streamers, a lot of people that see these guys on Twitch and just think that they can just pick up a camera and do it. So, me personally, I do it too. I thought it was going to be an easy process. Doing what I do now, I thought it was going to be a little bit easier than it really was. But again, it the vibes just kind of got mixed, and I kind of felt like, I'm gonna leave that kind of streaming in that space for the youngins. But again, they see these people there, especially at the celebrity basketball game. The celebrity basketball game was awesome. You had a whole bunch of people's favorite streamers playing in the basketball game. Saw them out there with their cameraman. Saw them on Twitch Live. So, these are who they want to be like. So they thought this would be the perfect chance for them to, first get out there and get started if they wanted to, make connections, network. And also, when you have the tag Dreamcon 2025, people are trying to look at what's going on at Dreamcon, you can definitely get people scrolling through your streams just to check out what's going on at Dreamcon. I know when I was there, I would check out people's streams to see what was going on at the con when I was in my hotel room to see if I should go. But yeah, again, shout out Deshaun. Deshaun, I think this was his second con or third con. He went to Emerald Con out there in Seattle. I need to get out there with you and go to Emerald Con in March next year. But yeah, it's just all the fundamentals of con. The constant walking, the purchasing of stuff and having to carry it. Just the signing up for panels and committing to it. That's the other side of cons that I haven't really gotten into yet. I haven't really gone into many panels, but I stepped into some panel rooms this year. I should just kind of segue into my pros and cons. My pros for the con, of course, I like the vibes. I like the beautiful people. The colorfulness of it. You saw some minority sprinkled in here and there, but it was Houston, already a culturally black place. So see a bunch of black people at Comic-Con. I just loved it. I was just hoping that it get transitions and we could have more of a presence over there at regular Comic-Cons out there in bigger cities, LA, San Diego. They may be expensive, but that goes, RDC was doing some stuff at their cons that you can definitely get more perks for if you're going to regular Comic-Cons. But let me still stick with the pros. Again, the pros, really good food out there. Houston's a great place. The art is crazy. I loved it all. Again, you'll see it in the Instagram post I post out there on my Instagram soon, Best of Bias. What else? I actually wrote them down. Let me just read it. The pros I had, access to streamers and networking. Because I constantly saw streamers walking past me. Patrick Cloud and Persephone. If you guys know them from Twitch or even online, Patrick Cloud is everywhere. Content creator. He's been famous on YouTube and Vine and Instagram. Comedian. You should know Patrick Cloud is. He was walking around. Again, it was a lot of younger people there, so they didn't really know who Patrick Cloud was. So he was able to walk through there freely. We saw him, Funny Mike, Miles Morales, the NPC guy. Again, the basketball game was at the University of Houston. So everybody was really close, and you got to see a lot of people who are actual streamers who didn't get down into the VIP section, sitting in seats kind of close to you. So you make connections, talk to people, get into people's streams. Everybody was really friendly. Nothing really popped off. Let me see here. After parties were fun. So fun, so much so that there's a whole bunch of people that were looking to get in. Though the rooms weren't really filled to capacity and they could have sold more after party tickets, they were still fun. The DJs were cool. The alcohol was really expensive. That's one of my cons. I'll get into that in a second, but, the vibes were good. Again, it was more of a party vibe. The after parties I heard for Comic Cons really aren't that vibey. I know TwitchCon's after party wasn't really that cool, but the access to being able to go to after parties, AMP, Kai Cenat and them had an after party after, and Duke Dennis and them after, the basketball game. If you couldn't get the after party tickets, they're sold out, of course, $45 a ticket. They had after parties at these clubs or bars that are nearby, about $40 a pop. If you weren't able to get into the Dreamcon, after party tickets, where they're only $20. So, back in the days, he was like, when you're young, it's like $10, $20 covers is crazy. But, buying it from a convention, you think it's just regular, but really you're paying $20, $40 to get into regular ass clubs and pay really a lot of money. Well, the after parties for the Comic-Con were in the convention center, so it was a big ass hall where the parties were. But I saw the parties that they were having for AMP and some of the celebrities. I saw DDG pay $51 for a bottle of water. Yeah. I'm happy I stayed my ass right there at the after parties for the Comic-Con. Didn't venture too far into the club life out there because I know I would have spent way more money than I actually spent there. What else did what else did I get? Again, the celebrity basketball game was cool. Come on, Mark, bruh. I thought you could hoop a little bit better than that. You know what I'm saying? I thought you was a hooper. Um, Duke Dennis was out there hooping. B. Lou was out there hooping. Black Boy Max, he was doing cool, running the point, but their team was getting smacked. They had some really, Duke Dennis's team had some real hoopers, some college basketball players. The person that won VIP scored like 32 points. Shit was nuts. But it was a good game. Again, um, they had celebrities out there. They had CJ Stroud out there. Max O'Cream was out there. The coaches of the games were Terry Eason and Jabari Smith. So it was pretty dope. It was a pretty dope show out for the game. Um, which kind of actually, let me talk about some of my pros. I picked up some items there. I always got to pick up a little something when I go to these cons. I like my Dragon Ball Z. So I got this cool ass uh, stone painting. It's on hard ass, like this is stone. Um, and it's of course Trunks, it's my guy. Got a little Trunks collection behind me if you can see it. But this is painted. This is pretty dope. Capsule Corp t-shirt going Super Saiyan on their ass. It's a dope ass coloring, bro. It's pretty dope. I had to cop it. You know what I'm saying? And then following that, you hear that shit when I put it down? Following the DBZ theme, I don't know if you guys can see this one. I got a Majin Vegeta. I think the Static Studios, they had pictures of like a whole bunch of anime characters, like mugshots, they're in jail. I thought this was hella sick. I'm gonna frame this one, this Majin, Vegeta fucking, you know what I'm saying? It's just pretty dope. I had a good time. That's all I really grabbed because I didn't, check a bag. I just had two carry-ons, so I couldn't really grab shit. And I knew I was going to SDCC, next month, so I knew I can grab some shit there. I could take a check bag and get more shit there. So I kind of held off. The exhibit hall is half the size of Comic-Con. They had so much more. They have so many more exhibit halls at Comic-Con, rightfully so, because Dreamcon is all these streamers doing it themselves, which kind of led to my cons here. The cons prices for shit, $13, $10 for a beer, $13 for a specialty drink, a small specialty drink, $20 for doubles is nutty. And that was in the after party where you had no other choice of someplace to get alcohol. We could have got alcohol before at a liquor store and pre-gamed and not had to drink so much, but fucking crazy. I went to this place called Tom's Watch Bar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but bro, firstly, I don't respect places that don't put the prices on the menu. I don't care if I'm low grade or whatever you want to call me. But I like to know how much shit is before I order it. Or if not, can you please tell me? I wasn't aware of the outrageous numbers you can put on motherfucking drinks. I know in Vegas they can do that shit to you, but when you at a regular ass restaurant, you just sitting at the bar. I don't think I should get hit over the head like that. But anyways, I ordered this drink called the Party Starter. Try to get the party started. It has a little Red Bull on the top, a little salt around the rim, a little vodka, I would assume. How would you think that shit was? I'm gonna spare you the suspense. It was fucking $28 for a pint of hella ice, Red Bull. Actually, it was like a mug. It was a little bit bigger than a pint, but still, a fucking cup full of ice, Red Bull, and a little bit of vodka. I said, "Are you shitting me? Are you shitting me?" But I ain't no punk, you know what I'm saying? That's my fault for not being like, oh, how much is it? Especially after seeing the bartender with having a shitty ass attitude in the first place and walk away after ordering. Yeah, he was trying to get over. 28 motherfucking dollars. I still tipped him a couple of dollars too. I'm a nice guy. I'm all about that karmic. Hopefully he fucking slipped on a piece of ice and twisted his ankle and he's hurt for a couple of days for that bullshit. But yeah, that was one of my cons. But when you travel, you expect to spend money, but it's like, god damn, motherfucker. But shout out to the Comic Con too. I mean, not the Comic Con, Dreamcon too. They gave us a $20 Poshmate certificate for each person that went to the con. So any meals up to $20 were free, basically. Right. That was clutch. That was clutch. Food in Houston, top notch. Had this place called Cinnaholic. Whoa. Wow, wow, wee, wah. You feel me? Shit was delicious. What else? Open my eyes. Oh, blends both worlds. Kind of talked about that already. Oh, that's in the pros. RSV. Let's talk about these RSVP systems. So to get into the stuff that you pretty much paid for there, you had to RSVP for. This shit was kind of crazy to me because you're already paying. I know it's 150, 170. It's still a pretty penny for a ticket for a 3-day con. But for you to have to RSVP to even get in the building to see trivia games, to see celebrity dodgeball, to see celebrity volleyball, to see gatekeep opening ceremonies, to see Meg the Stallion, to see Leon Thomas. Yeah, Meg the Stallion was there too. Leon Thomas, a whole bunch of celebrity people were there too that weren't necessarily streamers, but sorry, I skipped over that. But yeah, you had to RSVP to get in, and the RSVP sold out or got reserved so fast, like there were fucking raffles for Jordans, bro. 22,000 people in the and you have to select, and it was through a third-party app. So not only did you have the app for Dreamcon, where you can make an agenda for what you wanted to do, you had to go to the app, click another link to another app called Pixel Pass, and sign in to Pixel Pass, and reserve whatever panel or thing you wanted to go through there and reserve it there. So a lot of people didn't know that. So a lot of people didn't get into these places they wanted to go. And if they did want to get in, there was a standby line where a lot of people couldn't get in. So that was shitty. To get around that, people buy premium badges, which I was going to do to try to get away from having to RSVP for things. But I thought it was just a $200 to upgrade from your $170 ticket. They wanted $300 to upgrade from a $170 ticket you already paid for, another $300 to upgrade. And I heard when you upgraded, you still had to RSVP for things that had the celebrities in them. Celebrity basketball game, the Meg the Stallion thing. So even if you did get premium badges and you didn't RSVP, you were fucked. Oh my. And then they said they had a VIP lounge that you said the premium badges got you into. They said people were walking right into the premium lounge. They thought they were going to get access to streamers and people that were famous that they could network with. They're like, there was 1 or 2 streamers that came in the whole time, and everybody had access to them. Oh, man, it's crazy. I fault myself for not being at the cons earlier. One of the homies didn't get tickets, so we kind of lollygag to it every day. RDC was out there on the exhibit floors, giving out shit, selling their comics, so I kind of missed out on that. Next year I will hit it harder. It's going to be in July in the hot heat again. So I'll kind of know what to expect. I know it's going to be a little bit hotter, but it's going to be all jerseys for me, man. Jerseys, and yeah, I don't know if I can cosplay unless my cosplay is wearing a jersey for real, because that Houston, Texas heat ain't nothing to play with. I know it'd be 104, 103 out here, but I didn't know it rolled in that kind of circles. I didn't know that it rolled like that. Like June Tao at the massage parlor, bruh. Way too much. What else did I have on here for the cons? Hot as hell. I said that. And may have been too many up and coming streamers at the event. Yeah, because again, people were complaining about having cameras in their face. People were at the after parties, drunk as hell, and people had cameras in their face. Dance circles with big ass cameras shining lights in the middle of the circles. It was kind of obnoxious. People doing things just to put on stream. Somebody brought in a bottle of baby oil and placed it on the ground and tried to blame it on somebody to get content. It was getting a little wild at the after party. I get it. 4 days in hot heat and have an opportunity to do this. It only comes once in a lifetime for a lot of these people. But Jesus Christ, bro. Give it a break. But again, I loved it, man. It was my first one. As you get into it, again, it's been 5 years of DreamCon. So I know as I go more and know what to expect and make it one of my annual ones like my other cons, it'll get more and more vibey. I know they'll keep improving it. They moved it from Dallas to Houston this year. So Houston loved it. Houston loved that the people were there. They named a day after them, RDC. And, the money that it brought, the tourism it brought, the hotels made a whole bunch of money. Again, nothing popped off to want them not to have it again there. I think more celebrities will go. Again, you had Earth Gang, Meg the Stallion, Leon Thomas, along with a bunch of, oh, I forgot her name, I'm sorry. But the actress that's playing Ironheart was there with having a panel about, having a panel about upcoming TV show Ironheart on, in her spot, excuse me, in the MCU. So there's a lot of stuff that they're able to have access to, and I'm sure there's people, and a lot more news goes into social media about DreamCon. The word, us as Black people gonna spread the word. So as more and more people learn about DreamCon, I'm sure the prices will go up for the tickets. I know a lot of shit will get sold out more. Word of mouth will get spread a lot more, and it's only up from there. You know what I mean? So shout out DreamCon. It was an amazing time. Shout out to Deshaun and Deshaun for joining me on my con voyages. I hope you guys are able to join me next year or any other time you're trying to go to a con. I know, again, Deshaun, I'm fucking with you out there in Seattle for Emerald Con, aka I need to get out there for the con out there in Indianapolis, Indianapolis, and there's also Funko Con, is it FunCon, I think it's called, in Seattle too at the headquarters. So there's a lot of shit to do, man. I'm happy that I got to experience it. I really started watching RDC heavy the last 2 years, their gaming videos. I've always watched their skits and stuff. The skits on YouTube I've watched for years, but I started watching them stream heavy in the last couple of months and years. Not years, excuse me, last couple of months, within the last year, but their skits, every single one of their skits, Hood Avatar, fucking Gaming House, Anime House, Hood Olympics, all that shit, man. All those videos were classic, and I'm happy that their content and their abilities, capabilities, Mark Phillips getting with Kevin Hart and Old Spice and all that shit, and them just elevating Under Armour deals and all that shit is just inspiring, man. We see Kai Cenat doing what he's doing. We see RDC doing it in their own way. You know what I'm saying? Making a way and showing that us Black folk actually have a value in rather than just doing other things. You know what I'm saying? We can be powerful in other ways. I think Kai Cenat is on the road to being a billionaire streamer and rumored to be creating his own streaming service that he's probably gonna make a whole bunch of money off of. He did Streaming University. He's trying to do streamers, Total Drama Island. He's like a Black Mr. Beast in a way. He doesn't do as much that word's gonna kick my ass. Philanthropic endeavors. But I think he's doing shit that a lot of people see in the industry, in different kind of industries, that he is getting access to, and I think he's the type of brother that pay it forward. Put other people in position. You know what I'm saying? Drewskis of the world, they're all having a way. I like them getting their spotlight, doing stuff that's not really, you know, normal. You know what I'm saying? And not basketball, not rapping. You know what I'm saying? It's a different lane, a different avenue that they're running with it, and they're really groundbreaking and setting stepping stones for people to come. So shout out RDC World One. Shout out you guys, and shout out DreamCon. It's just up for here for me. I'm very inspired by it. It makes me want to get in the booth and do this every day. You know what I'm saying? Until it's time for me to pop and I can do something like that as well. Shout out Impound Comics. I saw him there, the founder there, a whole bunch of times. I see his content online all the time. I wanted to be interviewed, stop him and just let him know. But, he was just walking by himself and I didn't even want to interrupt. I saw him during an interview and I saw him once by himself too. So Impound Comics, I'm gonna see you again at one of these cons, and I'm gonna stop for sure. And let you know I saw you at DreamCon. I saw you here. I know you're probably gonna be at STCC, so I'm gonna see you there, and I'm gonna holla at you. Cause I'm gonna be solo dolo for sure. Let's see, but that's it, man. That's all I had to say, man. I just wanted to let you guys know what I've been up to, where I've been at, how DreamCon was. Look at this shit, dog. This shit is so epic. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say. Go watch some shows, man. Murderbot's out right now. I think it's called Stick on Wilson Golf Show. Apple TV Plus just started as well. Season 2 of Tires starts June 5th. If you're listening to this on Friday, yesterday, it just started. Shane Gillis, there was a hilarious season. I had Andrew Schultz. Shout out Andrew. Was in season 1. Yeah, check out the show. Season 2, if you need something to watch. Movie wise, I haven't seen Mission Impossible or Lilo and Stitch yet, so I haven't got to review that yet. I may go see it this weekend. At least Lilo and Stitch, man, because I heard Mission Impossible wasn't really that good, so I might go fuck with Lilo and Stitch. But yeah, That's the end of the podcast where I let them know where you can find me at. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat, Best of Bias on the Instagram, Best of Bias on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok, follow me on Instagram, follow the podcast on both. Twitch, man. I'm gaming all the time. I'm trying to get a big following on Twitch so we can, I'm a gamer. I don't really do the real life IRL twitching. But, as I get bigger in the gaming sphere, I would like to. So we're on the road to 50, still have 15 followers on Twitch. I'm trying to get to 50 so I can be an affiliate. So help your boy out there. That'll be fantastic. Pods coming every week. Be back on track. New content, new people on pods. I'm going to get somebody because I knew season 4 needs to start really soon. So next pod may be season 4, may not be season 4. We'll be surprised. But when season 4 starts, I do want to have a guest. So if I have a guest, wink, wink, that might be the start of season 4. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Again, happy Pride Month, happy Mental Health Awareness Month to all the men out there. Yeah, and those are definitely, I meant them, well, same and separate because they're in the LGBT community and there's men that are not. So, yeah, anyways, but yeah, hopefully everybody's doing well. Thank you for clicking play on this podcast. You could have been anywhere in the world. I decided to click play on mine, and I appreciate that. We had no stoppage at this pod, so I can thank the Lord for that as well. And thank you guys for being here. So, episode 246, Lydell Dinero. Thank you, AKA, again, for always making these videos so pristine for the folks. And whoever you want to win the finals, I hope they do. But let's go Braves, let's go Bucks, let's go Liberty and Sabrina Ionescu. That's what we're going for now. ABA shit's for the birds. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, where that theme song at? No more long talking. It's right here. Thank God. It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias.